In the middle of the road of my life, I awake in a dark wood where the true way was wholly lost. Hi, my name is Ali Schwage, and welcome to 10 Points to Ponder, where we like to talk about all the things that are getting canceled: race, politics, Jesus, and manhood. Today, on the subject of manhood, I want to talk about longings, and I want to talk about life and what it means to actually live life. The words I shared earlier were the beginning of Dante's Divine Comedy, as he's looking at the middle of life and finding that the things that he thought maybe that he wanted, he's gotten, and then he realizes that those things are empty. And we find that often in our lives. And so today I want to talk about a great book that I have been reading every morning called Life with a capital L, and I'll share some of what the speaker and author was discussing in this book. So the first thing that we need to know as men is that as men, we have longings in life. These longings are universal among men. They need to be engaged and discerned. They need to be rooted in eternity and are ultimately a longing for eternal life. So, have you ever had that feeling? I've been kind of going through that here at 41 years old, and I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about all the things that maybe I've accomplished, the family that I have, the job that I have, the cars that I drive, the house that I live in. All of these things, they're great. But are those things truly satisfying the longings that are within me? In his book, he talks about the difference between longings that we have and then the pursuits that we go after. So your longing might be for significance, and you pursue business success. You pursue taking every single phone call, going to every single meeting, taking on every single project at your job, because you want to be VP, you want to be the youngest to achieve a certain benchmark. You want to sit in those meetings with the big wigs and be able to make decisions that affect hundreds of people within your organization. And that might be temporarily a fulfillment of that significance, and yet you get home and you find yourself that no matter what accolades you might have achieved, you still don't feel completely significant. You don't feel completely human, and there's always that sense that am I really even doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Men feel that and deal with that. And the problem with these longings often is that these longings can either lead us towards God, or they can lead us far away from God. I have seen too many men that reach a certain age and point of life where they have substituted these activities and pursuits for the true satisfaction of their longings, which is only satisfied in Jesus Christ. Am I saying and doing what I actually need the most? Is questions that men have to ask themselves. And many men go fishing all their lives without knowing that a fish is not what they're after. You see guys that go on these long trips and they're backpacking, that, all of this stuff. It's not because of that. They're searching for peace. They're searching for a sense of mastery, a sense of belonging, a sense of security, a sense that they are connected with with the divine. And yet, you can do all the meditation that you want. You can go pursue nature all that you want. You can sit on the top of a high hill and climb Everest. And you can do those things, and there's nothing wrong with those things. Those are great pursuits. And yet, without understanding that ultimately those things are empty apart from Christ, then you find yourself just going from one longing to the next longing to the next longing. And that's why I talk so much about what's going on with our politics, is because we're being almost pacified into being satisfied with a handout from the government. You've got a society that just says, go out and pursue whatever it is that you think is right in your eyes. And yet, the reason that there's such a battle with those things is because none of those things are going to satisfy you. And the author went at great length to talk about Jesus and the woman at the well. And so people know this story. Jesus went to the woman at the well, and he asked her, give me a drink. And then she says, okay, let me go get a drink. And then Jesus says to her, go call your husband. And at that point, Jesus is engaging with this woman and talking about her true longings. He says, go call your husband. And she says, I've had 5 husbands, and the one that I'm with right now is not my husband. Jesus is able to discern that as a prophet. And what Jesus ultimately wants to do is not give her water or get water. He wants to introduce her to the living water, that which truly satisfies. And Jesus is what truly satisfies. What the author shared and what I want to share with you guys is to not miss that eternal life is about life right now. That's a lot of the problem and why we're pursuing all these things, and yet we're not looking around us and looking at what it is that God has already placed us in, the people that God has placed around us, the people that we need to love and care for and show that human caring, that human compassion to. The things that God puts in your heart as far as wanting justice and righteousness, the opportunities that you have to serve the poor, because in America, we are very rich. And the author talked about a painting that I want to show you guys. And this painting is one by a Russian painter. I think his name is Yoroshenko. And in the painting, it shows these people that are all imprisoned. And yet, even in the midst of this imprisonment, they have a moment to just look upon the life that's in front of them. Look upon what's going on right in front of them. And then you see the shadowy figure in the back that's unconcerned with that. Maybe caught up in the fact that, I'm in prison. Life is terrible. And the truth about it is the title of the painting is Life Everywhere, because there is life everywhere. And so often we miss it because we're going after these pursuits rather than understanding that every one of our longings is satisfied in Jesus Christ. And in John 17, Jesus talks about eternal life. We often think that it's just a ticket to heaven. But eternal life is life right now, being able to engage in everything that's going on, being fully engaged with your family, fully engaged with your wife, fully engaged with the people that God has put around you, fully engaged with the opportunities that God is putting around you. And yet you won't see that if you're like the man in the back of the prison with his eyes turned away from the life that is right in front of him. So in John 17, Jesus says that This is eternal life, that they may know you, the one and only God, and Jesus Christ, whom you've sent. It doesn't say anything about dying and going to heaven. It says, continue to live life now. Know Jesus and allow him to live his life through you. That is eternal life. Let me know your thoughts on this. It's been a great book. If I get more insights, I've just been every morning taking notes and just reading the book. If there are more insights, then I'll share in another video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. My name's Ali Schwaga, and this has been 10 Points to Ponder.